So interstitial compounds, they are the compounds which are formed by d block elements with small atoms like carbon, boron, hydrogen, nitrogen. For example, TiC, titanium carbide. Similarly, vanadium hydride. Similarly, Mn4n. Okay. Then TiH. Okay. So interstitial compounds normally they are formed when the small atoms like carbon, boron, hydrogen, nitrogen, when they are trapped in the crystal lattice of metal atoms. See, if you take metals, there will be orderly arrangement of, that is, metal ions, and between these gaps, when small atoms are trapped, then that results in interstitial compounds. Okay, and interstitial compounds, they have, that is, a special set of properties, and those that is set of properties normally, that is, they are different from the regular compounds, and so they are different from regular compounds with respect to, that is, properties. First one is normally interstitial compounds. They are non-stoichiometric. Okay, they are non-stoichiometric in nature. So they are non-stoichiometric as well as they are neither ionic nor covalent. Okay, that is one important property. Similarly, other properties of interstitial methods, that is compounds, they have high melting points and boiling points. They are very hard in nature. Similarly, they retain, that is, metallic conductivity even though these atoms are present. So here among the options, option C is correct. Okay. So what are interstitial compounds? Compounds which are formed by the trapping of small atoms like carbon, boron, hydrogen, nitrogen atom in the crystal lattice of metals, and as a result, that is, compounds will be having different properties. So what are the different properties that are possessed by interstitial compounds? One is they are non-stoichiometric. Second is they are neither covalent nor ionic. They have high melting points and boiling points. Then they are very hard in nature, and then they retain, that is, electrical conductivity. Okay. So here one such property is given, that is non-stoichiometric, neither typically ionic nor covalent, whereas other options are wrong. Okay, very important. You can expect a question related to interstitial compounds of d block elements. So I'll move on to the next question. Yes. Color of transition metal ions are due to absorption of some wavelength. This results in, already we have discussed, that is, color of metal transition metal ions. It is mainly due to DD transition of, that is, electrons. Okay, so here the answer is option D, DD transition. And for this DD transition to happen, normally the metal atom or metal ion, it must contain partially filled, that is, d orbitals. Okay, so that is the point you have to remember. So very important is, it is due to DD transition of electrons only, that is, color of the compounds can be observed. So in coordination compounds, we have studied about that 5d orbitals, they are having equal energy, but in the presence of, that is, ligands, 5d orbitals, it can split into, that is, two set of orbitals. One is T2g orbitals and another is Eg orbitals. Okay, so T2g orbitals contains 3 orbitals, that is dxy, dyz, and dxz. Whereas Eg set of orbitals, it is dx square minus y square and dz square. Okay, so 3 orbitals of 3 d orbitals, they form one set and 2 orbitals will form another set. So between these two different sets of d orbitals, always you can expect that is transition of electrons. That is what is known as dd transition of electrons. And this, which one will be having higher energy, which one will be having lower energy, it depends on the system, octahedral system or tetrahedral system. CFT you have studied, that is crystal field theory. So in coordination compounds you have studied that. Okay, so in general you can remember that is the transition. Okay, next question. Lanthanoid contraction is caused due to, okay, so very important, 14 elements after lanthanum, they are called as lanthanoids. That is from atomic number 58 to 71. That is from cerium to this lutetium. Okay. See, generally they are represented as Ln. So what is actually lanthanoid contraction? Lanthanoid contraction is nothing but gradual decrease in the size of lanthanum atoms and ions. So lanthanum atoms and ions, their size gradually decreases, and that decrease in size from lanthanum to lutetium. Okay, it is what is known as lanthanoid contraction. So why actually lanthanoid contraction happens? That is mainly because of poor shielding effect or screening effect, it is called. Effect of 4f orbitals. Okay. See, we know that in case of lanthanoids, first 6s orbital will be filled, and then 5d, and then 4f. Okay. So before the filling of 4f, first 6s and 5d orbitals are filled. So when electrons are present in 4f orbitals, shielding effect will not be perfect. For shielding effect or screening effect. See, electrons which are present in 4f orbitals, they undergo repulsion, and as a result, shielding effect will be less. What is shielding effect? Shielding effect is nothing but, that is the force of attraction which is experienced by outermost shell of electrons by the nucleus. Okay, so when there is poor shielding effect, electrons which are present in the outermost shell, they are more attracted to nucleus, and as a result size decreases. Okay, so here which is the correct answer? You can see option C, the imperfect shielding of outer electrons by 4f electrons from the nuclear charge. And what is the consequence of lanthanoid contraction? See, lanthanoid contraction consequence, it can be observed in d block elements. So generally if you take, that is 3d series and 4d series of elements, and 5d series. 3d series is first series, 4d is second series, and 5d is third series. Generally if you consider the sizes of 3d, 4d and 5d, so generally if you take 3d and 4d, there is difference in size, but if you take 4d and 5d, size is almost same. So that is second and third series of elements in D block, they have similar size, that is due to lanthanoid contraction. Okay, one example is osmium and zirconium. Both have similar radii, that is due to lanthanoid contraction. Okay, so this is very important. Definitely about lanthanoid contraction, you can expect a question. Okay. Next question. Cerium shows oxidation state of +4. See, cerium atomic number is 58. Okay, so cerium plus 4 electrons are lost, that is 54. What is the electronic configuration we can write on xenon is 54. So 58, 4f, that is what is the electronic configuration? 4f1, 5d1, 6s2. This is the electronic configuration of, that is, cerium atom. So if you take cerium ion, Ce4 plus ion, what will be the electronic configuration? See, 2 electrons will be lost from 6s first. So as a result, it becomes 6s0. 1 electron will be lost from 5d, and 1 electron will be lost from this 4f also. So why it prefers to lose all the 4 electrons? Why it is stable? Because when it loses 4 electrons, it attains the noble gas configuration. Okay, so that is the reason why that is Ce shows that is plus 4 oxidation state, because it has the tendency to attain noble gas configuration. Okay, next, which of the following transition metal will have a definite magnetic moment? That is, you have to find out, that is, which ion has a definite value. That is, you have to find out which ion mu is not equal to, that is, 0. So electronic configurations you have to write Fe3 plus, atomic number 21, number of electrons 21, 3 electrons are lost means 18. So what is the electronic configuration? Argon 18, 3d0, 4s0. So n is equal to 0. So when n is equal to 0, definitely mu will be equal to 0. So mu value is 0. Similarly, Ti3 plus, 22 is the atomic, that is number of electrons. So when 3 electrons are lost, it is 19. So argon 18, 3d1, 4s0. So n is equal to 1. Definitely it can have, that is, definite magnetic moment value. Let us take Cu plus also. Copper 29, 1 electron lost means 28. So what is the remaining configuration for Cu plus ion? 3d10, 4s0. See, it is completely filled. There are no partially filled orbitals, d orbitals. So n is equal to, that is, 0. Similarly, if you take Zn2 plus 30, 2 electrons lost means 28. So argon 18, recording ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು stop ಮಾಡಿ. Bro, Yes, sorry for the interruption. Full screen. Mr. Yes. So zinc 28, 18. So 3D10, 4s 0. Okay. So n is equal to 0. So here you see only Ti3 plus is having, that is unpaired electron. So it will have, that is definite value for magnetic moment. So answer is Ti3 plus. Whereas Sc3 plus, Cu plus, Zn2 plus, they do not show definite value of magnetic moment because number of unpaired electrons are 0. Okay. So we move on to the next question. Which of the following transition metal has the lowest density? See, density, it is related to mass by volume. See, if you take 3D series of elements, starts from scandium and ends at zinc. See, normally across the series, that is from scandium to zinc, what happens? Atomic size or ionic size decreases, and that decrease in atomic size, it is coupled with atomic mass. Atomic masses increases. Okay, so atomic size decreasing and atomic mass increasing. That means as we move from scandium to zinc, what happens? Density increases. Okay, so from scandium to zinc, what happens? Density increases. So question is, which one of the following transition metal has the lowest density? So if you take the options which are given, scandium comes first. Then after scandium, atomic number is 21 for scandium. Nickel atomic number is 28. Copper 29. Zinc 30. Okay. So this is the order of the given options with respect to 3D series. So least density is scandium, then maximum density. Transition elements, if you take zinc is not a true transition element, copper will be highest, that is density. If you take 3D series, scandium is least and zinc is maximum. But if you take transition elements, I think you know zinc, mercury and cadmium, they are not two true transition elements. Because if you take atomic state and oxidation state of these elements, they do not contain partially filled d orbitals. That's why they are not considered as true transition elements. But since they are the last elements in each series, they are studied along with transition elements. So when you take transition elements, so scandium is having least density and copper is having highest density. So here the answer is scandium. Then a compound of a metal Mx plus Z is equal to 24 has a spin only magnetic moment of 5.19 Bohr magnetons. The number of unpaired electrons in the compound. So number of unpaired electrons you have to find out. Okay, see, very easy. Based on the value 1, when n is equal to 1, what is the value of magnetic moment? Bm. Mu will be equal to 1.73 Bm. So 5.19 means definitely that is n must be equal to 5, because 5.5 into 1.73, it will be almost equal to, that is 5.19. So number of unpaired electrons easily you can predict based on the mu value. So if the mu value is say 1 point something Bm, then n will be equal to 1. If mu is equal to say 2 point, that is say 59 Bm, n is equal to 2. Suppose if mu is equal to say 3.79. So ಎಷ್ಟು unpaired electrons ಇರುತ್ತೋ mu value almost nearer ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So 5.19 Bm means number of unpaired electrons will be, that is 5, because 5 into 1.73, one unpaired electron, that is dipole moment, is equal to 1.73 Bm. This value you remember. So if you remember this value, easily you can find out that is many important characters. So answer is, it is 5. So ion will be having 5 unpaired electrons. N will be equal to, it is 5. Okay. Then general electronic configuration of lanthanoids. Already I said that is in lanthanoids and actinoids, 4f orbitals are progressively filled. But before filling 4f, that is n minus 4f and 5f orbitals, first outermost shell will be filled. So in order to show that, that is in case of both 4f and 5f series, lanthanoids and actinoids, first electrons will be filled in f orbitals, n minus 2. That is penultimate shell will be filled first, n minus 2, f1 to 14. Then C 4, that is n minus 1, n minus 2, f, n minus 1, d, and ns orbitals. See, energy difference is very, that is less. In case of lanthanoids, energy difference between 4f, 5d and 6s is very less. And similarly, in case of actinoids, 5f, 6d, 7s, energy difference will be very less. See, due to that energy difference, electrons can exchange their positions. Electron which is present in 6s can come into 5d. One of the 4f electron can go to 5d. So exchange of electron position is possible. And as a result, that is electronic configuration will be having many exceptions. So purely speaking, f orbitals must be filled, but due to less energy difference between 4f, 5d and 6s, that is sometimes you can also find electrons in, that is n minus 1, d 0 to 2. In case of, that is lanthanoids, so one electron will be there, that is in d orbital. So d minus 1, then minus. So which is the option here? N minus 2, f1 to 14, n minus 1, d 0 to 1, then the ns, sorry, not that one, it's this one. Yes. Option A, you just see n minus 2, f1 to 14, n minus 1, d 0 to 1, and then ns2. So for lanthanoids, that is the general configuration. Similarly, for actinoids, same configuration. It is n minus 2, f1 to 14, n minus 1, d 0 to 1, ns2. So in general, we can say f block elements. their general configuration will be n minus 2 f1 to 14, n minus 1 d0 to 1 ns2. Okay, so we move on to this question. See the correct order of ionic radii of Li3 plus, U3 plus and Lu3 plus. So lanthanum to lutetium. So what happens? Atomic size decreases. That is what is known as lanthanoid contraction. So decrease in the size of lanthanum atoms or ions from lanthanum to lutetium, what is known as lanthanoid contraction. So lanthanum 57, lutetium last element, it is 71. So here, so lanthanum will be having highest size. Okay, so then europium, it comes in the in between lanthanum and lutetium. Okay, so according to the given order, so lutetium, its atomic radius, that is ionic radius is less than U3 plus, and which is less than La3 plus. Okay, so answer is Lu3 plus less than Eu3 plus less than La3 plus. Okay, so this you remember, lanthanoid contraction. So atomic number of vanadium, chromium, manganese and iron are 23, 24, 25 and 26 respectively. Which one of these may be expected to have highest second ionization enthalpy? See, first ionization enthalpy, it is loss of one electron. Okay, so second ionization enthalpy, from that monopositive gaseous ion, one more electron will be lost. Okay, so which one of these is expected to have highest second ionization enthalpy? So second ionization enthalpy yavudakke highest ide anta kelidare, chromium Cr plus 1 electron, then Cr plus, when it loses one more electron, then it is second ionization enthalpy. Similarly, Mn, to become Mn plus 1 electron, first ionization enthalpy. Mn plus, when it loses one more electron, it is second ionization enthalpy. Fe, to become Fe plus 1 electron, first ionization enthalpy. Fe plus, when it loses one more electron, then it is second ionization enthalpy. See here, you have to consider the electronic configuration. So what is the electronic configuration of vanadium, whose atomic number is 23? So 3d 23, 3d3 4s2, chromium 24, its configuration is 3d5 4s1, manganese 25, 3d5 4s2, iron, outermost configuration is 3d6 4s2. So first electrons will be lost from, that is 4s. So when one electron is lost, that is 4s2 becomes 4s1 and 3d3 remains as it is, and here that is 4s0. Similarly, in case of chromium, when one electron is lost, what will be the electronic configuration in Cr3 plus? 3d5. So from 3d5 to remove electron, this is very important, 3d5, it is half filled. So half filled set of orbitals always gives extra stability. So to remove electron from d5 configuration, it is very difficult. So that means second ionization enthalpy of, this is second ionization enthalpy, it will be very high compared to all other. Okay, so that means chromium second ionization enthalpy will be very high. Similarly, if you take manganese, Mn plus becomes 4s1, so it can be easily removed. Similarly, here also same 4s1. You can see here V plus, Mn plus and Fe plus. all of them have, that is 4s1 configuration, and to remove electron from that is very easy. But in case of Cr plus 3d5 configuration, which has off-field set of orbitals, and very difficult to remove electron. Okay. Then radius of La3 plus is 1.06. Which one of the following given values will be closest to the radius of lutetium? Again, lanthanoid concept, that is La3 plus to Lu3 plus, lanthanoid contraction. So 1.06. So lutetium, its atomic, the ionic radii will be less, and with respect to value, it is 0.85. So answer is 0.85. Okay. So from La3 plus to Lu3 plus, if you take the atomic radii or ionic radii, value decreases, that is due to lanthanoid contraction. Okay. Then next, amongst the following, the lowest degree of paramagnetism per mole of the compound at 298 Kelvin will be shown by. So compounds are given: MnSO4, Mn2 plus ion, CuSO4, Cu2 plus ion, Fe2 plus ion, and D is equal to Ni2 plus ion. See here, you have to find out number of unpaired electrons. That's all. Okay. So Mn2 plus, manganese 25, Mn2 plus ion is 23. So argon 18. So manganese atom 3d5 4s2. So 3d5 4s0. So how many unpaired electrons here? 5, 3d5. Similarly, if you take Cu2 plus 27, so Ar 18. Then 3d9 4s0. So number of unpaired electrons here is 1. Fe2 plus. So 2600 24 agutte. Ar 18. 3d4 4s0. So number of unpaired electrons are 4. Ni2 plus. Nickel is 28. So 26. Ar 18. 3d 8 4s0. So number of electrons here it is 2. Okay. So number of unpaired electrons it is maximum, and as a result paramagnetism will be more. As the number of unpaired electrons increases, it is magnetic, that is nature also increases. So correct answer is, it is MnSO4 4H2O shows, sorry, lowest they have as, not highest. Lowest means n is equal to 1, which is having n is equal to 1. It is CuSO4 5H2. This is lowest and this is highest. Okay. So highest anta kelidre MnSO4 4H2O, lowest anta kelidre CuSO4 5H2O. So here it is the correct answer. Then the elements in which electrons are progressively filled in 4f orbitals, this direct question, lanthanoids. Similarly, 5f orbitals under actinoids. Halogens, they are different, NH2, NP, 5, and transition elements, their electrons are progressively filled in the orbitals. Okay, so this question it has been asked in CET, it is 2019. The next, the incorrect statement with reference to CE. Atomic size of CE is more than that of lutetium. Okay, so CE to lutetium, atomic size of CE is more, but we know that according to lanthanoid contraction, that is atomic size decreases. Incorrect statement. So definitely CE will be having larger size and Lu will be having smaller size. So first option is correct statement. CE shows maximum oxidation state of +3 and +4. That is also correct statement. CE4 plus is a reducing agent. Okay, that is also correct. Then Ce in +3 oxidation state is more stable than +4. That is wrong because so if you take Ce +4, it will be having that is xenon configuration, which is noble gas configuration, which is highly stable. Whereas if you take Ce3 plus, it will be having electronic configuration 54, 4f1, 5d, 4f2, 5d1, 6s, 0. Okay, year 1. Okay, so this is unstable configuration. So Ce3 plus will be that is less unstable compared to this Ce plus 4. It is more stable than Ce. Okay, so this is wrong answer. Okay, so in +4 oxidation state, Ce is more stable than +3 oxidation state because of this reason. Okay, the next mixed metal. So mixed metal, it is an alloy of lanthanide. So lanthanoid metal plus iron plus some traces of other elements, other metals. It is what is known as mixed metal, which is a alloy. Okay, so this is very important. Remember, lanthanoid metal plus iron, 95% lanthanoid, approximately 5% iron will be there, which is called as it is mixed metal. So it is an alloy of lanthanoid metal. Then next one, which of the following statement is wrong? Metals in higher oxidation states are more stable in oxides than fluorides. All elements of 3D series exhibit variable oxidation state. This is a wrong statement because if you take scandium and zinc, so scandium oxidation state is +2 and zinc oxidation state is +2. So they exhibit only one oxidation state. So very important. In 3D series, which is the transition metal that is having only one oxidation state is scandium. Suppose if they ask in 3D series, name an element which is having that is having only one oxidation state, you can write scandium as well as zinc. Transition element anta kelidre scandium baribe. General ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ scandium zinc ಎರಡು ಬರಿಬಹುದು for 3D series because zinc is not a true transition element. So all elements in 3D series exhibit variable oxidation state. It is a wrong statement. Whereas metals in highest oxidation states are more stable in oxides. Oxygen and fluorine, if you take, oxygen has a more capacity to form, that is multiple bonds compared to fluoride. That's why stability is more in case of oxides compared to fluorides. In highest oxidation states, transition metals show acidic character. Definitely correct. Suppose if you take Mn2O7, oxidation state of manganese is +7, which shows acidic character, which can form an acid called HMnO4. Mn3 plus and CO3 plus, they are oxidizing agents in aqueous solutions because oxidizing agent is a substance which can gain electrons. So Mn3 plus becomes Mn2 plus by gaining electron. CO3 plus gains electrons to become, that is CO2 plus. So both are oxidizing agents in aqueous solutions. That is also true statement. So these three are true. Second one is wrong. Yes. So students, with this we have selected few questions related to D and F block elements, and that is I have tried my best to explain that is how easily you can answer those questions when they appear in competitive exams. So very important, go through the textbook line by line So all the questions what we have discussed, they may not be asked, but concepts are very important. Go through the concepts so that you can answer any question that is given in competitive examinations. All the best, students.